guys, Tay here, and Tyler is with us here in the shop. How are you, dude?
Good.
Yeah?
Yes.
Having a good day so far?
Absolutely.
Tyler is from the Burton School of, well, it's been many names. What do they call it now?
Burton Center for Arts and Technology.
But Tyler's on board now, 3 days a week for the summer, which we're honored to have you. We are starting some bike racks for our friends over at Friends of the Blue Ridge. Shout out Julie and Andrea. And it's the second batch of bike racks we've done for this organization. The first round was very well received, and I even get to see a few of them out in the wild regularly, which is very satisfying. The general construction of these racks consists of 2 skis, and then the rails will be connected by these staples. I'm about to take this drawing and come up with a bend plan for our tubing bender, which I'm about to take from a manual bender into a powered hydraulic bender, thanks to some parts that I just bought. So essentially what we'll do is figure out where the bend is gonna start, make our midpoint. We'll have a certain amount of straight, the bend will start and go for 90 degrees. Same thing this way, certain amount of straight, bend will start, go 90 degrees, and we'll have a certain amount of straight left over.
Yeah.
The first few we make will probably waste a little material, but those will allow us to take some more precise measurements, and then we can cut them to exactly the right thing.
Like a test piece.
And then these will all get capped, and of course they all need to be beveled and deburred and stuff like that. But that's what we're cranking on in this video. Let's get back to the action. Okay, so the way this bender works, you have your pipe through here, and you have a clamping strap, goes around your pipe, and then you tighten this bolt and snug it up on the pipe. And now, to know how far you're bending, you really just have this piece of welding wire, and you have this dial indicator down here. And you just go till it stops. And the only trick about nailing an angle here on a bender like this is to account for the fact that metal has spring back. It's been a while since I took a statics class, but metal will, there's an elastic and a plastic deformation. So an elastic deformation of any material means it'll bend and then return to its original shape once the force is released. A plastic deformation means that once you bend it, it is now bent and it will not return to its original shape. Metal has both, right? So you bend metal a little bit, it will retract back to its original place. But if you bend it enough, the deformation will go from elastic to plastic, and now you're actually bending it to a point where it will not return back to its original shape. So the spring back that people talk about when they're using benders like this is in relation to metal's tendency to spring back or its elastic deformation characteristics. My goal is to do some test bends with the hydraulic unit here, get used to it, and then start dialing in that spring back. So to start with, you've got your follow bar, which tells you what hole it goes in, hole 5. Die and follow bar are specific to 1.5 tube. And so the way I map out my bends, a long time ago, which is evident because this is rusty, I made a sample 90 and I drew a line right here where the die contacts the pipe because I need a reference edge. I need a physical edge to reference any sort of measurement from. So this is a 90 I bent in this die, this exact die, and this cutout right here is exactly on the face of that die. The reason that's important is, let's say I'm trying to make, I'm trying to make the shape that I'm trying to make, these staples. I need them to be a certain width, and you have to know how much material gets eaten up by the bend and where the bend actually starts. So let's say I want to make a bend that follows this contour, right? I use my test piece, and basically what I would do is set it here and make a mark there, and then set it here and make a mark there. And so all I need to do now is measure in between those two marks, like that, and you get 11 inches. And to do bending like this, I always work from the middle out. So it would be 5.5 inches from center, left and right. I'm gonna make this shape. You have your center mark and you have your bend start line. And so I have just determined that it's 5.5 inches from the center to the bend start. And then I need to know how much material the bend eats up. I had another gauge. So this is one I made for 1 3/4 inch. And you can see lines on here. That was the mission of this sample bend, was to do the same thing I just described, but also figure out how many inches of tubing are taken up by a 90-degree bend. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 in this case, probably a little less for that. So you'll have the amount of tubing that's eaten up by the bend, your straight, your bend, and then we have the amount of tubing that gets us to where we need to go. So in this case, this is what I'm after. That outside to outside's 29 1/8. So I'll be able to figure out my straight before my bend start, and then how much is left over from that. I'll figure out whatever that sort of straight measurement is. Go long, make a bend, and trim off the excess, and however much excess I trim off will tell me how long I actually cut that first part. Your tube comes in like that, band goes over, pin goes in, and then you tighten this bolt, which locks the tube in the die. So now the important part is I need to take the slack out of the system before I calibrate my bend gauge. Now by hand, that's easy because I can feel it. I'm curious how I'm gonna feel this. Kind of just get a sense, I guess, of
general tightness.
Yes, that's my first question. Kind of just guess, really. So I'm on 0. I've got my drop gauge set. I'm not gonna break anything. Let's run this thing through. I'm gonna go to 45 and let it drop. As soon as that drops in, I'll remove my pressure, pull my pin. All that plastic deformation or elastic deformation force is being held by this pin. I'll set that pin back. This is called a one-way cylinder where it's powered under one direction and spring return the other direction. So let that pin drop all the way in. There it goes. We're at 50 degrees. We're gonna keep going. Wow, this is way easier than hand cranking. It's nice and precise.
Yeah.
So I'm at 90. Now, let's, for fun, for science, I'm gonna take all the pressure off of this at exactly 90, and we'll measure how far away from 90 we are. So there's the stress off. Take the load off of that. Put this here. Put the follow bar off. Now our die is loose. Let's Time to figure out how far away from 90 we are. So you can see here that when I hold it flat, we are at 95 degrees. So we had 5 degrees of spring back, which means theoretically we go to 95 and then stop. We're gonna go back to 90. The die catches it. There's 90. There's 95. And let's see.
It looks. The eyeball test.
Hold it up to my table.
The eyeball test is pretty good.
I don't know if you can see what that LCD screen says. Yeah, so I'm a half a degree off. It's also a good opportunity to practice getting 2 bends in phase. So this is bolted to the table, and the table's perfectly level. So the way to do this is, now this is gonna get a little sketchy, and we may not have enough pipe, but we'll go as far as we can. We'll just end up bending this into a 180. And then pick our starting point, and then all you really gotta do, so get a reference off of here.
Whoa, he's got to climb that one.
0.2 is fine. Reference off of here, 0.1, 0.3. I'll get a little bit more snug on this bolt. 1, 0.1. So you just want that to match the die, because that's the thing doing the bending. That's in. Let's go to 95 and see what happens. See if we got enough.
Oh, we might have just enough.
Well, that's the tightest little staple I've ever made. That's gonna have like 1 inch of straight in between.
It looks in phase, Captain.
In phase. It's in phase enough.
Might be hard to get it accurate because there's not enough flat.
Yeah. First glance, lining it up with the end of the table. It's probably that second bend coming so close to the first bend. Probably not the best way to test that. Right now our legs are not 90 parallel. But remember, one of these was 5 degrees under bent. So what I'm hoping is that one of them is 90, one of them is 95, which is leading to this overall out bend. So we might still be in good shape. My practice of getting the bends in phase is definitely good enough. All right, also this is the actual that I'll be using to make the bike racks. It is ERW tubing, not BOM tubing. So it's a little different, and it may have different bending characteristics. All right, we're gonna hit 95 and see how we go.
Nice shirt.
Yeah, I know, right? I was entered to win, we'll see if I win the Ram 3500 giveaway from the Grind Hard Plumbing. If you haven't watched the Grind Hard Plumbing Company channel on YouTube, you're missing out. It's slightly overbent. So the only thing I don't like about this is this indicator. It's a welding wire, you just bend it. And the manual bender, you have a sense of how much preload you get, so you have the same start point every time. So I guess I'll do one more practice bend on this piece, just to...
So take it to like 94 or something?
Yeah. 94. That's pretty good. So there you go. We are geared up very nicely to tackle many, many, many of these bike racks tomorrow. Tyler Kerfus will be back. We've got all the skis over here prepped. We've got our tabs dedrossed and ready to go. So we're gonna hit it hard in the morning. Today's goal is not to lose my mind. Right now it is 11. So my goal right now is to continue working with Tyler to get these bike racks built. So Tyler's been working on the skis or the sleds or whatever you want to call them. They're the bottom parallels of these bike racks. So the first thing, this is for you and for y'all, The first thing we need to do is define the outer limits of this rectangle on this table. So we need to define 29 1/8 this way and 33 1/2 this way. And then what we'll do from there is use my sample bend, my sample 90 that I use to measure things. So we put this in our boundaries, account for any tolerance. In roll cages, it's likely that you want it to be spaced off the roof and the sides of the car a little bit, but let's say there's 0 tolerance. You can do that, and let's say I had a second one. This slot is actually made to where you can drop your tape measure in it.
Gotcha.
And pull it. So the reason I want to define a box on the table, even if it's just some Sharpie lines, is that we can do that exact exercise. I'll start doing a few sample bends for this, sample pieces, and we'll go from there.
Awesome.
Go team.
Let's go.
Let's rock it. Okay, so here's the result of Tyler and I's first bend. Here's what went right. Our 2 bends are perfectly in phase with each other, so this thing does not rock at all. We have exactly, our outside to outside goal was 29 1/8, and we have exactly 29 1/8. So we're good there. We are, it's showing, it kind of feels like it's a little wider than our goal, but the numbers make sense. And to be honest with you, the way we're gonna attach these to these rails, and with the flex that you have with the legs of the staple, we're gonna have to be okay with a tolerance in order to get this job done in a reasonable amount of time. So Tyler had a great question. Can we use this part? We can absolutely use this part. And we also learned that we added 2 inches to our cut length, expecting it to be 1 inch longer than our table. We're actually 2 inches or so longer than the table. So the cut length was longer than we needed, longer than I thought we needed based on my math. So instead of going back to 89 3/4, we're just gonna round that to an even 90. And now we need, yeah, absolutely. And we need 78 total. So this is one done, 77 to go. So sir, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to cut 77 pieces of this tube.
Well, I don't think I really have a choice.
Yeah. At 90 inches.
Yeah. That's what I did yesterday, so.
There you go.
Start cutting.
Wear that bandsaw out. So because there's so many to cut, it might be worth, we could do that, or it might be worth figuring out some sort of stop or something over there.
Oh, speaking of, the clack to stop. He was talking to me yesterday. So first idea, get a backstop. So if we have to cut a ton of material like this, just push it in, cut, push it in, cut.
All right, I'll go with you over there. We'll get a system figured out on that. And then ideally when we have it, I also want to automate these marks. So we'll find a way, maybe we have all those tubes lined up, a table's worth, and we can lay a straight edge and go brrrt, 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 instead of having to measure each one. So we'll join forces on the saw first. Progress. So Tyler had the bounce. He's a soccer superstar, but we got ghetto rigged the saw even more. So we welded on some additional stainless pipe from what Aaron fabricated years and years ago. The idea is now we can set a stop for 90 inches. I didn't even measure this, so I hope it's long enough. Let's see where 90 lands. Oh yeah, 90's right in here. Come on. So I just ground this smooth so that thing moves around. So we just need this guy to get it close, and then I'll use a hammer to fine tune it.
Now you don't even need to measure.
That's the idea.
Measure 0 cut once.
Well, I measured once.
Well, yeah.
I measure once, cut 77 times. Okay, so let's try it. Inches.
Let's go.
That's what we want. So now the question remains, we get to this last piece so we can get 3 pieces out of each raw stick. Is it a super pain to do this? It's not that bad. Do that. Clamp it. And it'll float.
Tyler can be cranking this out tomorrow. And then now I'm going to come up with a similar sheet to figure out where my bends start, but I don't have to measure each part.
Now we cut 77 of these, well 78 total. What we will likely do is cut a whole table's worth of these. You know, set 20 or 30 of these up on the table at a time. This is plan 1. It may not be how we do it, but one option would be set a bunch on the table here, line all the ends up so they're all stacked the same, and then we can make we need to make 2 marks. We need to mark this line and this line, the start of each bend. So we could one mark could go down the whole line, and then find the other mark and go across all of them. So we have our start points. That's plan 1 for mass production. Plan 2 would be some sort of physical stop, right? So this tube needs to be loaded in the bender a certain way and to a certain depth, right? In the bender, load it in, but I need to load it in a certain distance. So I could either measure from the face of the die to the end, or come up with something else fancy.
Would it make sense to
Measure
put
it
the
here.
stop on the other side? Because you can use the fixture table.
Yeah, I absolutely could. Yeah, because it's going to start rotating and bending, so it'll actually hit the stop and come away from it. Yeah, so then I could do basically this. My weird double square that I made forever ago. Well, we'll see where it actually
Yeah,
lies.
if it lines up right.
And then clamp it. You know, we could even get a impact driver on this bolt instead of the wrench. And the only thing I can't automate at that point is the rotation of the piece in the die. I still need to use the digital angle finder in order to make sure the 2 legs are in phase. That's not bad. Do 77 of them. Curious to see how fast we can make this process. I bet it's 1 every 10 minutes, 6 an hour, 10 hours, so day and a half. That wouldn't be bad. That's constant work, but that's what we're here to do. Constant work. Cool. My day's about to shift. We're gearing up for that bike race, which you will see probably in tomorrow's video. So I'll leave you guys with a little mock-up. Something of this sort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be great.
so you can start getting the idea. That's what we're making.
I like that Roanoke's becoming more of a cycle town.
Roanoke's a big cycle town. And then there will be plasma cut panels that go inside here on each end. One will say Friends of the Blue Ridge, the other one will be unique to the locality or some variation thereof. The plan, as I've thought about it so far, is we will use one of these tubes. We've already made one, but that was sort of rushed. Not rushed, but quicker than I think we need to do the next one. We'll take this tube, we'll clean it, and we'll make very precise marks on when the bend's gonna start. And then we'll take when we go to actually bend it, we will take a lot of extra care to make sure that that one tube is as perfect as it can be. As we're doing the bending on this one test tube, we will be figuring out how to set some stops. So the first idea is to have a backstop, since this is bolted to the table, to have a backstop over here so that we can feed the tube in the same way every time. The problem with that is that it only works once. It only works with one of the tube ends, because once you bend one side, you no longer have a straight side of the tube to press up against it. So that's okay. I think we'll do a few cycles and we'll figure out how fast it goes. And if it's not razor fast, so be it. We just got to keep doing it. We have how many to bend?
77.
78. Well, 77. You're right.
77.
So, yeah, let's get into it.
Also, I like how the dirt just moves further up your face each time.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Tyler wears his work well.
Apparently.
Nobody can say he hasn't been working.
No. In fact, even if he hasn't been working, he's doing a good job of throwing us off the scent by covering himself in dirt. Yeah. So let's do this first cycle. People have seen us bend before, but this is, these bends are for the money. This is, no more practice. This is game time.
Yeah.
Are we wiping each tube?
Yeah, I was gonna grab some, just for at least these two, so the Sharpie shows up real well.
All right. Did you already wipe it down?
I got some acetone over here. Some good chemicals. Do a few folds on that, and I'll give you some juice.
That's the good stuff.
This acetone jug has the letter Y stuck to the top for some reason.
Well, it begs the question.
Why acetone? Well, acetone is a wonderful solvent. It is, you can use it to thin paint. You can use it to degrease things. In this case, you can use it to prep for paint. I use acetone to prep for paint all the time. Okay, here we go. Let's focus. So we've got a length of what should be 90 inches. Yep, so half of 90. Everyone is 45. Very good. I'll go ahead and mark 45 a few times. Okay, now instead of using a tape measure, which is not exactly the best tool for this, I'll go ahead and steal the blade out of this combo square. A little more accurate.
That's why it's a combo.
Well, it's a level, it's a square. It's 45 straight, 90. And a ruler. 6 3/16. 6 3/16. Yeah, that's helpful. Keep it from rolling off the table and out of the door. I lost my poor meatball. Tyler got a crash course on this thing yesterday.
So,
Seems to have retained some knowledge. It's a little funky, and you can't hurt any of it.
there we go.
A hammer is usually the best thing to have nearby when you're setting this machine up. So press it in here, press it there. Now,
Where do you want?
yeah, this is the operative time to figure out how to do this. So I'm happy with where. Now, here's the thing too. We were just a little off on our test piece. So now's our chance to correct for some of that. It looks as though the bend start point was a little too far out, away from center. So we want to make sure.
Is that what could have caused the 1 degree difference?
Right.
Okay.
So if it was too far away from center, I want to make sure that bend start line is almost eaten up by the die face there, which,
I gotcha.
because that'll make the bend start closer to the center, which will fix that part. Not the easiest to move right now, but I think that's a fair start point. It's basically eaten by it. So the question remains, if this is the bender's idle position, we have not tensioned the die, we haven't cranked anything down, we are just loading the pipe. That's what we need help with, is loading the pipe at the right place. So, in theory, as it sits is how we need to index. So what does the table look like when we do that? Do we have any of these holes that line up? Not quite.
I see one down here. There's one right here.
Lamps.
Well, I think we don't need to overcomplicate it. I think we'll just do this.
Oh yeah.
These things are rad, by the way. They're perfect
Used them
90s.
last time I was here.
So we'll line it up. You know, the tube's a little off just because it hasn't been tensioned yet, but I think we line it up like that, and then we get some clamps.
But is this gonna hit if you start bending?
No, because it'll actually pull that way.
Okay.
As the die rotates, it's gonna eat the pipe that way.
Okay.
So the first thing that happens should be that we notice a gap form right here.
Okay. Sounds good.
It's a fair question though, because you don't want to bind it all up.
Yeah.
Can you grab me one more of these clamps from that basket over there? Some of these holes have yet to be reamed out. There we go. Now, I'm fully prepared to ruin this pipe.
We have extra.
We do have extra, and that was intentional. All right. Now is a great time to just stare at it for a second and figure out if we're missing anything. So the die will rotate this way and drag the pipe into the bender, pulling it away from our stop. We know that we need to hit 94 degrees on our dial indicator. And now, as I've tightened that,
That might be fine because that's just your load point, right?
I think it's not really safe to assume anything right now. I think all we can go off of is what we observe, because if I rotate it back, it's still good, right?
Yeah.
I think that's all it is the die has rotated, so we're okay. Because my line is still good here.
Yeah. And you're good over
So
here.
we're just planning, the die is at full clock back, and that's when we load it. So I'm gonna preload, all my pins are in the right position. There's some tension there. Okay, my dial's at 0. Let's give it a whack. About 50 degrees, this pin will drop. Okay, can we loosen? Look for that to move. On this control, up is bend and down is retract on these buttons.
Okay.
It'll start to slow down, give it a little help. All the way in. .94. That hasn't dropped yet. We'll offset that. Let the spring drag it all the way back through the follow bar. Now make sure the ram's fully retracted before we unlock the tube, because this follow wire keeps hitting on a part of the die. So we want this scissor arm to be all the way in, and then we can drag this around. Okay, so now should be able to do this. Yeah, it's just, you know, you got all of this, right? So I guess if we just plant it right in the center and rotate the die back. May not be as foolproof as I thought. And if we have to mark all these, it's not the end of the world, but it was the first one I wanted to try. I mean, once the bar is on like that, it does seem to index pretty well. That stays about 0.2 down from horizontal. Honestly, these steps will end up getting faster and faster the more we do it.
Yeah.
Okay? Good, good, good. Let it rip. Just watch this thing for it to drop. Okay. And now you let off the pressure, and when you see this pin,
So I go back.
yep, keep going. Yep, you should be able to pull that out now. Now retract your scissor all the way.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can set it there so it drops. And when it gets to the end, you're gonna have to push on it. So you wanna push it in until that pin drops. And sometimes it might drop halfway. Make sure it drops all the way, because if you don't, you'll risk bending the pin. Keep going. That's what you're looking for. Because if it only halfway and you hit the button, it would bend the shit out of that pin.
Yeah.
Okay. 90, 91, 92, 93.
That good?
A little more. Right there.
All right.
All right. Now down, you hit down. Now don't pull that quite yet. Leave that in, hold down. Because what we want is
So
that
way it doesn't-
ram to help dislodge. See, now that the pressure's off the follow bar, now you can take this off and you can take this out, retract your scissor arm all the way, but the die is moving independently now.
Yeah.
And that just, until you can't anymore. Basically, you're looking for the shiny piece on that ram. Once that shiny stuff goes away, you're good. That's good. And the reason you want that all the way back, you see this wire right here?
Yeah.
If that part's not all the way back and you return this to zero, that wire hits it, and then ideally we don't have to calibrate that. Go ahead. That's tight.
You're correct.
Remember kids, lefty-loosey, okay? You just retract that until you don't see it there anymore. And then pull that out.
We got stable.
And really, all I'm concerned about is our spacing here. 29 1/4, we're looking for 29 1/8. That is more than fair, because it's very easy to just put a little, I could honestly get this thing to stay, just by tweaking it. So I fully imagine that we're gonna have to tweak them a little bit. Now, one thing I did not do very well is get it perfectly in phase, but it's okay, because it is not gonna matter. We'll try to get better and better at it, but so we gotta make 76 more. I kind of feel like we should mark them all and just do it like that. I don't see this being reliable. So I think that's what we do. Go ahead and clear the table off. And if you're done cutting, then we can start bringing all those pieces over. But cue the montage, here we go. Two bits of update. First off, after we bend, we'll do this backwards. After I bend the staples, Tyler's gonna take them over here and mark them to cut them to length. What we've done is set this backstop 33.5 inches from the edge of the table. So when we clamp it, the table becomes our guide. We'll take a brand new fresh Sharpie, mark under here, and then flip it over. And then pretty much, the way I like to do these is rest it on my leg. Just eyeball square. Kind of looking straight down the blade, maybe close one eye.
Easy enough.
Yep, do it again. And if you're off a little bit, I'm cutting directly on the line, by the way, because if you think about it, the thickness of the Sharpie is actually adding length.
Okay.
So if you cut right on the line, makes it easier, and it's actually more accurate. And my theory, honestly, is if you're off a few degrees, it's really not gonna matter.
Gotcha.
In the grand scheme of what we're building. But yeah.
Awesome.
So after lunch, we'll hit that. Now, I'll give you guys an update on this part. I set a timer for 30 minutes, or I just set a timer and watched it for 30 minutes. If I didn't mess this one up, I bent it on the center line instead of the bend line, I would have been able to do 7.
Ooh, you were pretty close to your estimate from yesterday.
So 7, if I did 7 in 30 minutes, 7 divided by 30, I can do 1/4 of one every minute. And so if I times that by 78, nope, that's not right.
By 60.
That's right. No.
Yes. That's every minute.
In 31 minutes, I did 7. So divide 31 divided by 7. 4.4 minutes per piece.
Okay.
Now I times that by 78. 345 minutes divided by 60, 5.75 hours. If I'm cranking. I guessed a day and a half the other day.
Yesterday, you know what you guessed? Because I was just
What?
6 hours.
Really?
Yep.
Well, there you go.
You said, I bet you I can do about 6 of these in an hour. You got 70 something, so 6 hours.
I feel like what I more said was I hope I could do 6 in an hour, but same thing. Well, there you go. So I think we're in good shape. Basically, we're gonna get lunch, and then when we come back, I've already got a few hanging on the bar over there. But as I bend them, he'll mark them and cut them. And then we're one step closer to starting to weld these things together.
Absolutely.
You got the dream team.
Yeah.
Double T, baby.
Can I be an honorary Glenver soccer team member?
Sure.
Yes. What's y'all's mascot?
A Highlander.
Go Highlanders, baby.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, that doesn't. Didn't Radford's the Highlander?
They're the Bobcats. It's
Radford College is the Highlander.
something like that. I don't know. There's some school that has Highlanders, but
We should come up with a mascot for Lift Arc. Lunchtime.
Lunchtime.
The cycle continues. Tyler and I are cruising. Trying to stick to my 6 per 30 minutes, which means 12 per hour. I think I'm beating that at this point. We've been going, what number is this one, Tyler?
I think this one is our 18th one that you're bending.
18?
Yeah, so we've done 10 probably in,
It's actually
45
still
minutes.
bang on.
yeah. I think we've sped up.
122 minutes, I've done 18, so it's, yeah, one every 5 minutes or so. Not bad. I'm
Yeah.
almost able to keep up with Tyler. By the time,
We're in a race. over
Yeah.
here, so he's distracting me right now, actually. Trying to catch up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be fun if you want to, while you're here, we could film a full cycle and just see, like, run the time.
We're doing a full cycle.
Yep.
We're going in 3, 2. Do it at the pace that you've been doing it so we can time it.
No, I want to win.
See, he's trying to run, but I don't need to run.
Sure, he can run, but can he cut? That's what we're competing against. But I'd like to see the difference.
But we'll also see how long
Yeah.
I'll check it. Done.
You know, I won state championships in archery in high school.
You did.
Yeah. So he's not the only state champ in the room.
And on the rack. Yeah.
This is the best cycle yet. I got lucky on my number. This will be the fastest one I've ever done. This is the stupid part. You gotta wait for the ram to retract.
Okay, Tyler, it's getting close to that time.
Yeah.
Go, go, go.
3, 2,
What was that?
2:50.
Oh, let's go.
Beat him by a whole minute.
Well, let's see how fast the whole cycle takes.
Oh,
You're still
I
going.
thought the last one was, oh.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
You beat it. Oh my God, that's done?
I still gotta check it, but then yeah, that's somewhat kind of done. Good. Done.
You guys did it basically in exactly 4 minutes.
Wow.
Dude. This is the, every time I finish one though, he's on it, he's just finishing his first bend. So we got into kind of a process. Yeah. And by the time I put it on the rack, he's starting the next bend. So pretty good pace.
Yeah, it's great. I get little moments of rest in between.
I do too.
It's funny how if you didn't have that motor, you'd be doing so much more.
Oh, yeah, dude. I would be exhausted. I would have pulled a muscle in my back by now. I don't think either one of y'all have seen the manual version of this.
No,
It sucks.
I bet it does.
because I'm pretty sure you never used.
Well, I used it a lot, but you were never here.
Yeah.
I did all that roll cage stuff at night when no one was here. It's a cool mechanism. It's just a pain in the ass. All right, it's 4 o'clock, same day. We've been doing a bunch of bending today. I am gonna try to finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in 1 hour. It should work because I'm doing about 6 every half hour. So let's see if I can do it. All right, it's 5:45. I've had quite enough, but I emptied our table of tubes. There's no more tubes on the table. Yay! So I did however many tubes that is today, and they're pretty much all hanging right here. So these are cut, those are cut. I painted these so Tyler knows when he comes in, those need to be cut. And that one needs to be straightened because it's a little twisted, but not bad for a day's work. These bike racks are going to come together pretty soon. I would imagine tomorrow we'll be able to start welding a few of these together, and that's very exciting because there's a carrot dangling at the end of this job for us in the form of a paycheck, which is always nice. But there you go. So, good morning, and good morning. Wake up, it's time to work. So last night, I bent the rest of the table full of pipes. We're gonna fill that table back up today. So I've got my bending cut out for me, and how'd the cutting go this morning? Good?
Good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Glenver beat Radford 3-0 last night.
The region finals.
Tyler here had 2 assists.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
That's all right.
Make him work for it. You trying to beat Glenver in soccer, you can't. You can't do it, can't be done. But these are all ready. So these are all ready to be welded. These two need to be addressed a little bit. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 26, 8, 30, 2, 4, 6, 37. So we're almost exactly halfway there.
Yeah.
So here's how I want the day to go. I think now till lunch, we'll bend and cut as many as we can. And then after lunch, I would like to hopefully have everything marked and we can take them off the table. And I'd like to start setting the table up to jig the bottom pieces.
Yeah.
To actually start welding these things together. Because we can take our drawings. We've got 18 of the 4 hoop racks and 1 of the 3 hoop racks. But basically, all we really need to do is take all those square tubes, sort of the same thing, stack them all together and draw a line, 1 5/8 in, 36 1/4 in, 36 1/4. Draw a line across the tube where the staples are going to connect. That way, when we hit the jig table, we know exactly where they're going to go. We can tack it, stick a level on it, tack it again, and then weld it out.
Awesome.
We're getting over the big hump, man.
Yeah.
After this, it's just putting all the pieces together. So that's what we're going to do today. I'd like to end the day with a handful of racks completely fabricated, except for the plasma cut panels. We'll get Spike to do that when he's back from vacay. So we're going to load that table, mark them all, and start bending and doing all that again. So cue the montage. Let's finish some racks. I am now about to bend my very last tube, the 79th or 80th probably, because I've done a few wrong. 80th staple, that means I've done this I've done 160 bends. Take you guys along for the last one. I'll run you through We'll run you through one whole cycle in real time. All right, put a timer on the clock. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. There it is. Getting the absolute most out of my 10-year-old JD Squared Model 32 tubing bender. It sure is nice to have it on the fixture table like this. But anyway, there it is. That was everything I just did in that session. And we've got a bunch over here ready to go. They might need to be tweaked out a little bit or in a little bit, but you can tweak them by hand as we place them and weld them. Next week, bike racks come together. Woohoo!
Tay, what are you doing?
Be very, very quiet. I swear he just landed on my finger. I'm killing flies. Ow. That one actually hurt. Oh, there he is. Oh, there's two. Oh,
Oh, nice.
Oh, he's still in here. He's getting barbecued.
At LiftArc, we like to keep a clean office.
Very clean. No.
And since we are a custom metal fabrication shop that specializes in we specialize in custom solutions for your custom problems.
You know, this is a custom solution for your custom. Dude, I think we got him. 6 or 7 down this morning. Let's
well
go.
done.
Harbor Freight, electronic fly swatter with 2 big old D batteries in it. Bazap. All right, we're back at it today. The one and only Tyler is back dedrossing these panels that are going to be going in between the outer staples on the rack. So my mission is to finish this rack all the way with the tabs and the end plates and become a better welder. I wasn't having a very good MIG day yesterday. How you doing, dude?
Good. How are you?
Good. Say hi to the people.
What's up?
What's up? Wake up.
Time to
Watching
work.
yeah, it's time to work, dude. You watching this in bed or something? Yeah, that plate had some warp in it, man. It's weird. It's the first sheet I've seen actually be warped on the pallet when we got it from the place, so hopefully it's not too bad. Cleaning up okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Nice, nice.
Using this wire wheel to go through and get all the rust off, and then stuff that doesn't come off, I'll just use this die grinder, clean it up. Like right here, you can see it.
Yeah.
There's just certain spots.
It's always those
on
like
that.
entry and exit points that
Yeah.
get real weird.
Yeah, so
you
I'm
can-
just going back through and clean that up.
Sure. Good deal. Well, I'll let you carry on. I'm gonna weld these two in, assuming that those are the right ones. Did Spike say these are the two for that rack?
No, I
You're just setting them here?
just set them here because I didn't know which ones go where.
I don't either. I'll go ask him.
Probably better than
Yeah.
replacing them.
Well, for sure. Because usually, oh wow. That's pretty impressive actually that the plasma cutter did all those tiny holes.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I don't know how he would have done that.
Damn, that's really impressive. Cool. Go Shop Saber. It's your birthday. All right, well, that's what I'll do next is go ask Spike which two go together. All right, one done. Tyler and I are working out the process, but we got all 4 hoops on. I did a session a minute ago where I got some panels welded in. So now you can see what we're building, finally. This is the goal. Plastic caps are gonna go in here. They just arrived this morning as well. But this is what we're gonna send to Lucas at the powder coaters. So we just have 19 more of these to build. But this is the slowest one for sure. And now we've got the jig on the table. We should just be able to drop our pieces in. Tyler has all the lines here scribed on the skis, so we know exactly where the tubes go. So we should be able to crank them out pretty quick now. I've got a spacer cut, so I know where my tabs go, my mounting tabs. These are the tabs that will be screwed into the concrete to mount these things. And yeah, one.
Looks great.
Yeah, it comes out good. I love this look. It works out so good. And unlike other bike racks in the city, we put gaps here so you have more places to chain your bike up. Instead of just having to use this or down here, the panel doesn't quite get in the way as much as it used to. So I like this design.
So do I. Very cool. Good work.
Oh yeah, sorry. That part's really loud. I
Yeah.
forgot to tell you that.
It's all good.
He's got young ears. Let's
And I'd
ruin
like
them.
to keep it like that.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all good.
If you will let Spike know that this is on, and then feel free to shadow him. I want you to see the setup process. So
Okay.
have him show you sort of what he does to square the plate and stuff like that.
Gotcha. And what I said earlier, no wonder these things are warped when you
Yeah,
picked
dude.
it up with the forklift. That just,
Yeah, it's not even like there's some pre-stress that happened, and I think it was from the truck drivers strapping the shit out of it, because if it overhangs the pallet at all and they put the straps really tight, it bends it. But I have never in 6 years seen a sheet look like this. I don't really know what happened, and all 3 of them are like that.
yeah.
I think that was just something from the batch, unless the pallet is, I mean, it just shouldn't matter. And the pallet's just a pallet, you know, that's not strong enough to impart anything. I don't know. I mean, once we cut it up into small pieces, it doesn't seem to really be an issue.
No, it's not.
It is
that bad.
annoying. If I'd have known it was this bad, I probably would have rejected it. We have to be about 1.25 inches from this edge here, so we can help spike a bit by moving it forward. Okay, something like that. Go ahead and drop.
Did they even write our name all fancy on them?
They did. It's on, you can see it on one of those racks that we've already finished. Go show the people those. I'll narrate this video from over here. See, so you can see here, we've got our 4 staples, and the 2 outside ones have the CNC plasma panels in them. And then the center ones are open. We got the skis and the mounting tabs. Somebody spilled beer on my shirt. Oh, it was me. It was me.
Noise cancellation.
Cheers. End of the day, I had a cooler full of ice cold beer in the back of my truck, so
Truck beer.
I'm having a truck beer, and we're outside because it's really loud in there. So, really good day. We got 4 racks done. We've got a system down, which is always the best feeling when now you know next day you can just hit it and go right for it. I would venture to guess that by the end of I think we'll have them all done by the end of the week for sure, and maybe the next few days. It's Tuesday. Tomorrow I'll be out of the office, out of the shop for a large portion of the day. However, this is cool. So a Justin Wagner is going to come join the team for who knows how long, but definitely tomorrow. Justin is a welding teacher in the area and a longtime experienced fabricator, and he's looking to fill his summers, because he's a teacher, with some side work. And boy, do we have some side work here. And the cool part about Justin being a teacher, first off, he's great at explaining things, which is to y'all's benefit and to Tyler's benefit. So I can set he and Tyler loose while I go do the Noke sign delivery, come back for lunch, and then head off to do some other service calls for some customers. So that's the plan for tomorrow. We had a great day today. It's an honor to have you with us, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hi all, this is Justin. Justin's a rad dude. What do you do for a living?
I teach welding for high school.
Where at?
William Fleming High School, Charles W. Day Technical Education Center.
Day Tech, baby.
Day Tech.
Justin and I met, some of his students came to the metal art sculpture contest that we hosted not long ago. And we became kind of fast friends, mutual interests. Justin's looking to fill some time this summer with some interesting welding projects, and hopefully that's what we've got here. Some interesting welding projects. Good to have you here, man. So these people might be breathing down your neck for a little bit every now and again. Justin's jumping in to help bring this bike rack project to life. Ironically, the first panel he's working on is the Day Tech panel, which is his school. Got a bike rack from us.
Was that planned?
No, it was literally on the top of the pile.
Did you know you were getting bike racks?
I didn't. I had no idea. Well, next fall you can ride your bike to work.
Yeah.
Which is probably an hour away from your house.
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave Justin to do the bike racks, so cue the montage. Yes, absolutely. Hello, everyone. Back at it again. It's Wednesday? Who knows?
Yeah.
Feels like Wednesday. The machine is in full effect here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go. So Mr. Justin and Mr. Tyler are crushing it. They are a well-oiled machine. The welds are coming out sick. They are just moving and grooving. I love those two guys already, and they're both only here for the summer and part-time at that, but man, I think the shop's gonna be able to do some pretty impressive stuff with some extra talent. It's cool to see Justin, just a man of many years of experience. These are coming out great. I mean, I'm gonna start telling Lucas that we've got some ready so he can start picking them up and we can get them powdered and done. Here at Lift Arc, we are proudly supported by ARC3 Gases. ARC3 Gases has supported me for my entire fabrication career, even back when we were at Black Dog. All of our welders, all of our welding gas, everything came from them. And when I started my new shop, I knew who to go to. If you're anywhere near the East Coast or even the whole right half of this country or the entire country, because they ship, you should consider ARC3 Gases for all your welding supply, metalworking tools, and gas and consumable needs. They are a wonderful company with an amazing selection of parts, and of course, if they don't stock it, they can order it for you, and they can even drop ship straight to you from the manufacturer. They offer free training and education with any of the tools that they sell or can source for you, and they stand by their product and they're extremely helpful. So shout out to ARC3 Gases. Go check them out for any welding knowledge, education, supplies, or otherwise. They support us and they allow us to continue making free content for you guys, so definitely consider supporting them the next time you're in the market for welding tools and equipment. We're actually making a bunch of progress. Justin and Tyler kicked ass yesterday. We've got like 11 racks completely ready, which is half or a little over half. So I'm in and out today. Mr. Kerfus is not with us today. Justin's trying to one-hand these, but we should be able to finish today. Definitely by the end of the week. Depending on my in and out, it's a lot slower when you're by yourself, but he's about to weld. We're holding him up. Let's go. Getting pretty tired of Justin doing all the work around here. He's kicking ass and making me look bad. So I'm gonna get in here. Now, we are very close to the end of this rack project. Spike and I just drove around town, met at a few locations. There's a few racks that are sitting on slightly sloped ground. So we're gonna weld the staples on at a slight angle. So when it's bolted to the ground, the staples are straight up and down. So we just did all that errand running, had a few meetings. And so I am gonna plug in with Justin and we're gonna knock this stuff out. We have Visit Virginia Blue Ridge, 1.5 degrees over. Community empowerment is straight. Roanoke City Public Schools, 2 degrees over. Daytech is straight. Make Roanoke is done. All the Rocky Mount ones have been approved. RIDE Solutions is approved. Those are the single bike racks. And I believe there's another Hanging Rock State Park and a Pilot Mountain State Park ready to go. So we've got, I don't know, 6, 7, something like that. We're well over the halfway point, so let's do it. Check out Justin's welds, man. There's a reason he's a teacher.
Look.
He's not even using a machine he's familiar with and he's kicking ass. Shout out HTP. For those that are curious, we've been doing all this welding with the MIG 2800i from HTP, but also the Fronius, we whipped that thing out again. It just happens to be hardwired on that side of the table, so we were using it for these. We were using the that double pulse thing, which is sweet, synchro pulse. It just gives you that ripple without having to do anything. So it's a nice looking weld, but it doesn't quite like these mismatched pipe joints. And honestly, 045 wire in there is all we have. It's a little thick for this, the material we're welding. So it's not the best setup. And I haven't had time to run to ARC3, which is where I prefer to buy all my welding supplies. I'm getting to work turning on some music and you have to go away because otherwise we get copyright strikes. right, that was the end of a very, very productive day. We have, that one's good. That was an extra. Spike cut too many, and we're just dumb welders, so we just welded it in, not thinking. And we've got 3 of these. The Rocky Mount folks took a little bit to lock in the design of their logo, but it's actually kind of one of my favorites. Look at that guitar neck right there, headstock. Pretty cool. They're being picked up tomorrow. Lucas and Charles are coming tomorrow. They're gonna take as many as they can. They don't have the kind of trucks and trailers necessary here. I sent him a photo. He knows what they look like. Tomorrow, I'll be at Noke Fest, and that starts for 3 days. But if you're watching this now, you've already seen all that. So, yay, reality.
You know how that turned out.
Yeah. God, it was awesome. Or cut, God, it was horrible. It's gonna be hot. They have the bus. I have a tent and an air mattress. I ain't too bad. I ain't too good for a tent, man. I like a tent. Plus, I'm kind of don't have money for a camper, so tent it is. I guess I got that. We have camper at home. Camper at home. Who's breaking into my shop? They're all matte black.
Cool.
Yep. Let me grab some gloves, I'll help you.
Cool.
This tubing's kind of gross. Nope, I don't want him. And he's off. Say bye, Charles. Bye. I got a triple rack I'm gonna build and a single, I believe, is all that's left. 2 singles and a triple. So let's get into that. All right, well, there you have it. That is the last rack. So Spike actually made all the materials for one more rack than we actually needed. So in natural fashion, I was like, let's build us a rack. So I had Spike cut out a lift arc panel, and then the other side we'll put a Riverdale panel, and we'll put it somewhere out here in Riverdale for people to use. This one's kind of a salvaged rack. I'm using some of the hoops that were a little twisted, and I ran out of tabs, so I grabbed one from my extras bin. But whatever, it's gonna be great. Lucas will be here in 25 minutes to pick up the second batch of racks. I don't think we'll have this one ready to go, but he's gonna have to make several trips anyway. I could just go ahead and weld this on, but I don't know anything about Hanging Rock State Park, and I've donated enough this year, so we'll wait to get the last panel, and I've got one more hoop somewhere right there. So there you go. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Shout out Peter McKinnon. Now we're done. I am very sweaty and tired, and it is 12 o'clock, exactly when I wanted to have this finished. Lucas and Charles have each made a stop today. There's only 4 racks they didn't take with them out of 20, so that's awesome. We killed it this week. pretty much all of this happened inside of a week, which is incredible. And I feel really good about that, and that much closer to a paycheck, and we got some really quality stuff out into the world, and we're about to go to Noke Fest. So I earned the right to party. How are the racks coming?
Good, we're probably, well, I mean, I say good, but we haven't done anything with it.
Yeah.
We'll probably start on the first of next week.
That's fine, yeah. I know you've been backed up with railings and the heat and everything.
Okay, sweet.
But this guy,
So we actually did get a comment about powdering this.
Yeah.
That might be relevant. It said, don't send that out off for final coating. Let him get the build completely finished first. Fender mounts, seat mounts, sissy pole mounts. Build it all the way, ride it a few times to shake anything down, then break it down for powder. Vanguard Cycle and Ralphie Customs.
yeah. I mean, look, I'll shoot the guy a call because it's not a bad point. Hey, this is Tay from LiftArc. How are you? Lucas, our powder coater's here, and he's ready to pick it up. But are you going to add any like brackets or seat mounts or anything to the back end of this chopper down the road? One of our viewers on YouTube brought it up, and I was like, you know what? That's a good point. You may want to do it and then get it coated. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I'll be here. All right, man. Sounds good. Thanks, Vanguard Cycles and Walker for.
And Ralphie Customs, both professional bike builders.
I mean, to build custom vehicles in general, you're assembling and disassembling all the time. All the time. I mean, even just the back half of my drift car, I had to mount the fuel tank and the battery.
Oh, yeah.
So you cut everything off, I tubed it all, and then you like test fit it, you tack it in place so it misses the body, and then you take it off, add more, put it back in place. All right, just keep me posted.
That'll work. Sweet.
Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, be good. I'll let you know about this. All right, and here we are at one of the final locations for one of the bike racks that we built. We are in front of Fork in the Alley here in South Roanoke, moreover 7-Eleven right here. So great neighborhood to ride your bike. Come check it out if you're local, but if you're not, you can kind of see how these things are meant to be installed. So they're shot into the ground with some big concrete anchors, and that's it. So we call this an 8-bike corral, 4 hoops. You can put a bike on either side, and unique to our design, we have these cutouts in the side panel, so you have more than just the top to be able to chain your bike or scooter or skateboard or whatever you got. But here it is, all powder coated in its natural habitat. This one's been installed for a little bit now, and I do like to come to Fork and have a cold one every now and again on the patio, and it's very cool to see people use these things, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, providing some useful bits of attractive metalwork for the public to interact with. So job well done. Very, very pleased with how these came out, and excited to be the source for the city of Roanoke to be able to do these. So if this is something that you're interested in or anything like it, definitely hit us up. We love to do it. So shout out to our friends Julie and Andrea from Friends of the Blue Ridge. They're the ones that actually made this whole thing happen and worked with all the other, the people that receive the racks, and it all works through the city. So we're very lucky to be embraced by the city and those that influence parts or organizations in the city. And everyone likes our work. I'm damn proud of it. And there you go, on to the next one. Please subscribe if you're into that sort of thing. We really appreciate you. And if you're in Roanoke, look out for these sweet racks. Yeah, we got nice racks.
And now we won't have to worry about our high boy being stolen.
That's right, yeah.
With the new lock.
Yep, our new we got our new high boy with the because we are an authority on e-scooters here at LiftArc Studios. And what better accoutrement for your e-scooter or e-bike from highboy.com than a custom metal bike rack from LiftArc Studios. We'll build you a thing and a thing to keep your thing safe. Okay, I gotta go to an appointment in Southern Virginia to look at a big sculpture job. In the meantime, check out one of these videos, like and subscribe, and do the whole thing. We really appreciate you. I promise you I will not say like and subscribe anymore this video, but please like and subscribe.